Hey, it's in the wee hours of the morning and I couldn't sleep, so I woke up and I had these thoughts. I'm going to share them. So, I'm a single woman, and the difference between being a single woman and a single man is thus. A single man will go on YouTube and make a YouTube channel about how great it is going his own way and being single. But I would like to have access to his search history on his computer, wouldn't you? I mean, he's having an outlet somewhere. He's having a female outlet somewhere. He's having a sexual female outlet somewhere. He's jerking off to some feminine thing somewhere. Okay? That's the nature of a guy. So women are the socket, and he needs to plug into her energy to juice up his own. That's the way it works. But a woman is the socket, therefore she is her own energy. That's the difference between a single woman and a single man. See? It's like, I don't need you, man. You need me. What I need from a man is protection and his security. In other words, I am able to provide for myself, thank you very much. Meaning, the universe, thank you very much. I have been siphoned off of so badly that there's no reason for me to be in a relationship with a man who does not have security, who does not have money, or no relationship at all. That's the facts of life, Jack. And that does not make women bad. It makes us better off single. Than with a jerk off that wants to steal from us. They take our energy, our time. It's like, oh. How many girls, raise your hands out there in virtual land, he was attracted to you and you were doing great, right? And then your life went downhill and his seemingly went upwards. And then you were so depleted and you doubted yourself. It took you a long time to get back up on your feet again. Girlfriend, it was you. It wasn't him, it was you. It's amazing how we don't realize our power. We've been trained to only think of it as sexual, and that is the problem, because it's not the power. That's how we can be abused and how we can abuse ourselves. Sexuality is the most sacred thing. Sensuality is different. Femininity, too, is different. And the sensuous feminine is different, as is the divine feminine. We cultivate all of that. A woman, her life is a garden. Her mind is a garden. We are in, essentially, the Garden of Eden. Our minds, you look at your mind, it looks like the tree of life. You know that movie Avatar, and they had that big tree that got destroyed, which was so sad, devastatingly so. Well, imagine that is your brain, but not destroyed. See it when it was at its beauty and heyday. See it just flourishing with all that life going up and down and all around. Well, the Garden of Eden is your brain, and therefore it's really essential you keep it clean. Okay, and so this healing I've been doing, wow, that was a biggie. If you've never watched my station before and this is your first video, I'm makeup free. I'm 60 plus. I've had marriages and a family. I'm a grandmother, and so I'm not coming to you as poor me. I'm coming to you as I'm talking to you as, wow, I'm reflecting on life. I'm reflecting on the differences between male and female, and I'm also giving information to women who are younger or my age or whatever, or anybody who's curious. but women especially, I would want to know the sacredness of their attention and their own sexual body, that is something that must be earned. And I'll tell you what, a narcissist can't last over 2 months. So if you can at least hold off for 2 months, that is how to hold off a narcissist. Yeah, 2 months. If they give you the ultimatum, if you're not going to have sex with me, I'm going to go away, never be with you again, then take them up on that offer. Okay? Sex is something that they receive from you. It's not like, it's not, what do you call it, that thing, a little handshake where everybody does even Stevens? No, it's not about that. There is no equality. Men and women are completely different on the chakra scale. We're all different energetically. That's why it's so silly to look at the physical and think that's what we have to change to make it so. The energetic body doesn't lie. So the energetics of the masculine and the feminine are just what they are. You can't change that. Only the outfit can be changed. But you can mess it up so that it doesn't actually fire correctly, and it can short circuit and not work properly if you mess with the outer. So that is its own mess. But right now I'm talking about the people, the body, like your body, is not the thing that is the measurement of your experience here. It's your energetics. And it's the strength of your body, the vigor, of course, but it's your energy. So if you mess with your outer body, that can mess with the energy, yes. And if you mess with the energy, which is going to loop back to the mind, if you mess with the mind, if you mess with the tree of life, you're not going to have the vitality that you need for full, robust life, to be your maximum, your personal best, to be yours. Tweet, tweet, tweet. You know, to be the little, you know, to go from the little fledgling, the egg, to take the egg of an idea that you came here. And I know now, I've always been here to speak and write about life and pontificate, and I'm figuring that out. And I do it with a goofball sort of like court jester sort of delivery for some reason. And I'm learning to value myself a lot more, and still have a good sense of humor. I hope. So, I'm gonna have some tea since we're here. And it's only at the 8-minute mark, so grab yourself a cup of coffee. This one's going to last a while. We're at a great place in the family saga. My brother has opened up some dad boxes from the family. From the Wayland, Wayland, England. And wow, that's a long time ago. My father, he was like he was student governor president. He was so well respected. He was so accomplished. He was such an honorable man. And he wasn't treated right because he married a narcissist, but it's okay because he's like enjoying his afterlife. He's gotten a break. I'm like, Mom, you're going to stay alive on planet Earth. Give Dad a break on the other side. And before he left, I'm like, do you think you're going to do that one again, Dad? You think you're going to choose a wife like that again? I was saying it. He just laughed. He knows me. He doesn't have to agree with me to think I'm funny. I'm amused because it's like he just still doesn't get it. They had their own S&M relationship on an emotional level. He had this little boy thing, and she was like the reprimanding. Oh, he thought it was my mother once when I called. That's how come I know. And got very uncomfortable. And then I realized that when I get excited, my voice gets higher, and it does sound like James. That's my mother's name. I'm laughing now. It's like he's having a good time. That's the joke. He's getting a break. He's getting a break. I just find that so delightful. Don't you? She was always haranguing him. You know, she was like, when we retire, we're going to work out. Well, they went to work out at the gym, and guess what happened? You're going to love this. Pull up a chair. All the ladies started coming on to my dad, and he started looking really, really handsome. Jane could have none of that. No. Instead of allowing him to soak up this divine feminine energy, and then that interest in him will then at home can translate to interest to her, if you know what I mean. Schwang, you know what I mean? Do I have to make a juvenile sound that guy from Saturday Night Live came up with? Swing, swang, you know. Arousal. Male interest in the female. It'll peak. He gets all that wonderful attention at the gym. Instead, he started looking really good. Because you know what I found out? More than ever, my brother's unearthing. There were so many articles about my father and his accomplishments. He was a town drag star in the javelin and in the pole vault. Or was it the high hurdles. Anyway, it had to do with metal objects. So I think that's javelin. Yeah, that thing that they run and throw, that's really Olympian. If it wasn't that, that's amusing. Anyway, but I know this for a fact. In his junior year, when he was at his university, he couldn't compete because he had broken his ankle. In training for this event, the pole vault, because you're running and you're jumping, you're taking that pole and it's metal. It's not bendy. It's not bamboo. It doesn't have any give. It's metal. And you're planting it in this pocket in the ground. And then you have to use the momentum of that force to then jump and leap over the post. And he went at 12 feet something. So imagine that. And you landed in sawdust. So he was coming down from a 12-foot jump. Just look at, I can see my ceilings. They're 12 feet. Or are they 10 feet? Anyway, they're high. That's high enough for me to want to jump down. That's a long jump. Most of us are 5 foot something, right? I'm 5'6". How tall are you? You know, that's another thing. I need a tall man. I can't be with a short guy. I need a feeling that he's protective. That's just the way it is, guys. That's just the way it is. Okay? So if you can afford bodyguards, or she feels protective because you're providing her with security in other ways, you can be short. Otherwise, guys, if you're short and you don't have money, you basically got a hand that says being single is the way it's going to be, or something. Find another way. You're not going to have a woman, but you can pay for one. Not everybody gets a wife. And every woman gets a man, nor does she want one. But every man that gets a wife does better off in life. Every man who has a woman is better off. She benefits too, But she is depleted if it's not mutual. And it's really, really hard for a woman to break the circuitry away if she doesn't find out initially. She has to know initially before she bonds. When a woman has sex with a man, she bonds. That's why I have been very, very monogamous, but with these guys a long time. Once I have the sexual union, I bond. I'm an exceptional woman. I know that now. And I know that my father is an exceptional man. And he's getting a nice break on the other side. I love that, don't you? I do. Okay. I have to go make my cocoa. I am having my co-brew, or miso brew. How would you say that? Miso brew? Mycelium? Miso brew? Is that how you'd say it? And it has lion's mane in it, instant coffee, cocoa, and coconut sugar. So it does have sugar. How many grams? 5 per rounded tablespoon. Cool. All right. So it's been really fun and redemptive. I feel really happy. I feel really happy. I have a mushroom mug. This is the kind that Amarita muscaria. That's the kind that the reindeer were into. That's why you see those on Christmas trees. It makes them fly. That's why that's a Christmas tree decoration, everybody. So I've got my mug, and I'm so pleased that my father is having a good time in the afterlife. and my brother is so proud. He's like, we weren't allowed. So all those that don't know my station or my history, my mother is pathologically narcissistic. She squelched all information that my father could possibly ever provide. And I used to say to him on the side, how come we never know your story, Dad? He goes, well, I'm keeping it aside for you all to find out. I'm serious. And he's like, you're finding out. And we're like, yeah. And we're going, yeah. He kept his mouth shut when that woman yammered on. And you know how we could tell he was angry? His temples would throb. And then that was stage 1. I am not a professional comedian. I'm a goofball. I laugh a lot, okay? Don't shoot the messenger. This is who I am, okay? I'm not a professional. I am a on-the-fly stream of consciousness, honest human being that is providing free content. So take your criticisms to bitch oot. There you can thumbs down all you want. Oh, man, oh man. Somebody write something nice in the comment section. What do you remember about your father? Are you a part of the Dead Dad Club? Do you know what it's like being a part of the Dead Dad Club? It's not a club you want to be in, but if you loved your dad like I did, I'm getting more fun out of it than most. Because I have access to him more on the spirit level. You do. And his, my brother feeling the same thing. He's feeling like Big Neil is glowing. We love you, Dad. We love you. We love you. We love you, Dad. Oh, I love these things. That's what you use to stir up your mushroom powder. Otherwise, it doesn't quite mix the way you want it to. And then if you have milk, you can froth it. I think I have a little bit of milk still. But yeah, I cried yesterday about something. Oh, his recognition that he wasn't aware that his absence would have the effect it had. His recognition to me that he didn't realize Jane would be so admonishing to us, and the offspring, his litter of we're like puppies. his, my second husband, what he said to me, he's like, "You're the pick of the litter" when it came to the girls in my puppy, in my birth family on this earth trip. He's like, he used to say the funniest things. I loved him, I did, but he would, okay. He goes, "Kathleen, you're the pick of the litter." And that's why I was never upset with my sisters, no matter how they treated me, because I always didn't care because of my own sense of self. And that's how I found out my dad is. His own sense of self allowed him to be in this place of like, be whatever. Be what you are, Jane. And I'm like, be whatever. Be what you are, sisters. Like the sisters in the, almost like the stepsisters in Cinderella, only I'm not Cinderella. I don't claim to be. But they're the stepsisters anyway, without a Cinderella. They just are playing this sort of like disgruntled older sisters, because I blossomed. I continued to blossom in spite of my mother just attempting to thwart me in the accomplishments I did anyway. That's one of the things I do in my program as an aside. Assess yourself. Look at all the fun things you've actually accomplished. I can say I have for reals. Maybe you can't. And if you can't, then think of something anyway. You have to play the glad game. What is there to be glad about? And there's no comparison. Comparison is the thief of joy. Be who you are. Your modus operandi on this planet, align it with the divine and the divine within you and who it is you were meant here to be. And so I know who I am, and I'm very, very confident. But yeah, as an aside, I really enjoyed my second husband. He provided for everything, but not. Everything was in negotiation with him. He's a narcissist. You can't have a lifelong relationship with a narcissist and stay healthy. I was getting depleted. He was siphoning my energy. And when I left, I blossomed. I became younger. And the hairdresser that we both used, my hairdresser goes, "He's getting older and older and more and more decrepit looking by the day." Well, by the haircut. And I didn't want to feel happy about that. I didn't, okay? Because I have compassion. But it was like, wow, that it's true. Energy, it is true. That explains it. It's like that movie Stardust and the witches, and they want the star. They want the star's energy. They want that brilliance. They want that radiance. They want that brightness of that youthful woman. So do men. Men want that from us older women as well. They want the attention in any way they can get it. And it's okay. If it's done with flirtatiousness, if it's done with fun, as long as the exchange is even. But when you're siphoned, you're depleted. Chew on that piece of mojo enhancing, or you prevent your mojo from being depleted knowing that little bit of factoid. And that's why the 2-month rule, my friends. That's why the 2-month rule. Because when you do the 2-month rule, the narcissists can't wait that long. They have to have the sex. So they're going to go someplace else. And that means if they have to have the sex, that's all the relationship will ever be about. And you will be fooled into thinking that the sex is the secret. But it's not. You're just what he needs to plug in, to juice up, but not give you the security, perhaps, of a home. But and not give you what you need even more than that, which is an emotional relationship. So that they can listen to you in your times of need without flying off the handle, without getting angry with you, without correcting you, without reprimanding you, all of those things that makes you shut down, that so many toxic men will do. He has to be able to be this kind of guy. The kind of guy my son is, I know, because my daughter-in-law told me. And my son actually told me another time as well. And he said, it's thanks to you. I know that all she needs is to express herself, and she needs me to just hold her. Let her have her emotions. Let her, because she has been absorbing and absorbing and absorbing, and she has to. And if you're afraid of that, you have no business being with us. We need you to be there emotionally for us to connect to you sexually. Duh. Otherwise, it's no good for us. And men don't get it. No, the toxic men don't. But women, if you lead with the sex, if you don't do the 2-month rule, then all you were was about sex. You didn't get to know each other. Now, if it's been a full year and he still doesn't want to have sex with you, then you decide whether or not it's worth it. Are you feeling like it's still a good relationship? Is it worth it to you? Who's spending, who's outlaying the cash? Who's being depleted? Who's suffering the consequences? So your relationships do need to have reciprocity on some level, even though they should not be transactional. And there's a difference. With a narcissist, they're transactional. With sane people, they're reciprocal based on an energetic exchange that is sort of unspoken but understood by both. It's just, ta-da! Doesn't have to be worked out. Not like you have to get a talking stick or a timer to stop a person from talking. Oh my God. During COVID, during the lockdown, when I went to Virginia and I was with that ex, oh my God. You know, I talk about him, and the poor guy, I wish him well. I don't want him in my life ever, ever, ever. But I do have stories to tell. But he had best move along. I am so much happier without him. But he had a bunch of jesters I called the Lost Boys. And it was just this court of clowns, and they would hold this mock court, and I would be like, you guys, it's always a war about me, and who's going to get the most attention. Why don't you get to use a talking stick? And that became a thing, of course. Oh, do I have any more? Please, please, please. Yes, I do. I do. It's for my cat. I'm a cat. And you have to use it within a certain amount of time or it coagulates. And I'm looking at it and I'm going, it's curds and whey, but it's still actually edible. But I wouldn't go much past that. And people are like, you do that? It's not the kind of milk that you get. That you'll see people do it. They'll put their milk in the refrigerator, and then you'll see somebody like drink out of the container and the big clobs come out. It's not like that. Not at all. It was like not even a tablespoon. And it has really good enzymes in it. That's why pets are so healthy. Meow. Giving them pet milk. from the local farm. I'm as local as they come, baby. So yeah, the guy down my world, I'm learning now. It's like, okay, in the dating world, because I still have hopes, but I don't need a guy. I'm interested in one, but I'm not giving up my peace, contentment, and lifestyle. Here's to that. Love you all, and we'll talk again later.